Steve, how are you, sir?
What up, yo?
Yeah, not much. How's it going?
Oh, yeah, it's alright, it's alright.
Are you over your appendix being removed and all that stuff?
I'm back at. By the time this goes up, I'll have been back at work for at least a day.
Yeah.
But over is. I don't know.
That's a
I've been
subjective
getting
term.
some. I've
Subjective.
been getting some weird pain that I'm not sure what's going on.
Well, you just had a piece of your body removed, so it's probably not all that gets so surprising. So, people are probably wondering why on earth this screen is black.
I'm wondering why this screen is black too.
I've been very mysterious over the last couple of days to Steve as to what this checkout is going to be. It's not a game per se. It is game related. And
I thought it was going to be something much more explicit.
Much more explicit.
That we couldn't put on YouTube.
Which wouldn't be what I would do. That's just make that very, very fucking clear.
You sure?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. No.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you don't know me that well then. That would be me. So
I'm talking about balls deep. Anyway.
So what I have got here is I went and got myself one of these things. This is the ASUS ROG Ally. It is basically a handheld PC. It is essentially a Steam Deck competitor. The one difference about it over anything, the Steam Deck is you actually get the bloody thing in Australia. Steam Deck you can't.
Where'd you get it from?
This came out through JB, actually, is where this was pre-ordered.
Really?
They were the only people that had them in Australia. You can buy them directly from ASUS Australia, but I went and got mine from a local JB.
So you don't have to worry about delivery and stuff.
Exactly, and if there's any issues hardware-wise, I could take it back to a physical store rather than have to put in rather than shipping it back, so I thought that was the way to go. This thing was announced, I think, a couple of months back from ASUS.
Yes.
And it got some relatively good reviews when it was released, sort of, and got into preview and sort of influencer hands, I guess, for the want of a term. It then was announced for Australia. It's not exactly the cheapest thing around. I haven't even really should check what this thing is in terms of specs.
Is yours the 512?
Yes.
So I'm looking at JB's website now. They've got it on pre-order, so they must have gone through their next shipment, which is the 3rd of July.
Yeah, they went through their initial allotment relatively quickly, I believe.
$12.99.
Yeah, so this is $12.99 Australian. I think it's around $8.
See the reflection in the screen.
Yeah. I think it's $600 American. I think is the actual price in America. It might actually more than that. It might be $800. Not too sure. Anyway, basically this thing, is a handheld PC in essence. It's running Windows 11, which is one thing that's really neat about it. It's running Windows 11 Home, which is fine. It's running a AMD Ryzen Z1 processor. It looks like it's combined the system on a chip thing, so it's a CPU and graphics in one. It's got 16 gig of RAM, which is shared with the GPU component of it, so you're kind of sharing it.
Oh.
But it is actually pretty bloody good. I'm just going to turn this on. So we'll do a bit of a closer tour up front in a moment, but we'll just turn him on. Oops, it takes a little bit. There we go.
You've got a Switch, don't you?
I do, but I have hardly played the damn thing. So
I was going to say, what was the impetus for buying this?
So the impetus for buying this was that I could actually play PC games that aren't on Switch. Now, there are not necessarily a lot of those per se.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sweep up from that so people can see.
So not that it needs to be said, but this is something of an experiment as far as us doing a hardware checkout.
Yes, this is the first one of these I've got. I've got a Canon 7D camera which is the current feature now. I've got a handheld GoPro, which I'm going to go grab in a second. I'll do more of a closer look up to the actual around the product. I'm not going to play much of it because obviously this is just playing essentially PC games. You've got I'll try and do this without knocking the camera too much.
I think there's back paddles on it, isn't there?
Yeah, so basically you've got your standard controllers here.
Yep.
You've got D-pad, as you can imagine.
How is the D-pad on it?
D-pad's really quite good. I like it. It's really solid. It's not.
Looks like the one on the Series X controller.
Looks a bit more like that. It's obviously not the same design because the Series X can be taken out and stuff like that. But yeah, so this is running the ASUS what's known as Armory Crate software. It's basically a their like library software. So you can see I've got Steam here. You probably can't really see that particularly well, but there's
I can see it.
We've got Epic there, Xbox there. So it's basically just an all-in-one. So Forza 5 was installed from the Xbox store. You can see Satisfactory is installed from the Epic store. Everything else is from Steam. But I can access everything's available from here. I can just run up whatever it is and then goes and runs the actual digital storefront that needs and then fires up the game itself. So
I was going to ask if those game tiles are essentially shortcuts too. Can you? Is it easy to just straight go Windows desktop from there?
Yeah. I mean, touchscreen. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. So this is basically now Windows PC. I'm actually using the right thumbstick to move the cursor around. And believe it or not, right bumper, not why it's right bumper, they chose right bumper. Right bumper is essentially your left click. Which is a bit...
That makes sense from your left thumbstick is on... your right thumbstick is the mouse. Yeah, kind of makes sense.
I kind of see it from that perspective. So I could run up the games from here if I wanted to.
Yep.
But I can also, more often than not, I'll run them from... From this bit of software, this setting thing. It's got an overlay. So if I bring up, not that guy, this guy, you can see I've got. You probably can't really. I'll try and zoom in on this a bit. Let's get the focus. You can see it there. That operating mode.
Yep.
Top left-hand corner says it's running. So I'll get this focus to it. There we go. 15 watts. That's because I haven't got it plugged in. If I go and plug it in, which I can hopefully find the power for it. You'll immediately say that it'll go to a 30 watt mode.
Yep. And USB-C on the charger?
USB-C on the charger, yep. And because of that, I've now got way more performance that I can now put onto into the thing. You probably saw earlier I had quite a few games installed. If I can get out of this thing.
What? We'll probably look at it later, but what's the USB port situation like? Like using a mouse and keyboard on it?
There's just the one.
Just the one charger?
Just for the charger. It's got Bluetooth in it, so you've got a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. You're good to go. I've already done that. You can patch Bluetooth devices to it. With that USB connection, though, if you buy USB-C docks, that have... extra
with USB ports already on it, like the Switch dock.
Yeah, exactly, and also things like other HDMI outputs, stuff like that. You plug that in, you can then charge the Ally through that dock, plus output to a monitor or a TV or something like that.
Does it have HDMI output?
Not on the device itself, no. You're looking at just...
So you'd rely on a dock of some kind?
Correct, if you want to go to an HDMI. Yep. There isn't a dock that comes with, not with it, but you can buy one from ASUS, which I have not yet found in Australia, oddly enough. Which is the standard one, I think, from their... Maybe the ones that comes with their regular laptops and stuff. That does have a HDMI connector in it and a single USB port. So I'm trying to find something like that. There are heaps of USB docks on the market that are Steam Deck compliant, and they're therefore pretty much compliant with this thing as well.
It's less a dock and more just like a USB, like a powered hub.
Yeah, the one you can buy from ASUS, yes, that's one of those.
Yeah.
But with the ones you can buy that it's non-third-party ones, they've got HDMI, DisplayPort, multiple USB, charging through it, all that sort of stuff. So they're a bit more involved than that. But so that's I'm looking to getting something like that.
The charger dock is really it's quite cool though.
It does, yeah. The charger dock is
actually one.
The official one is actually quite neat. That's why I was very surprised I couldn't buy it in Australia that I've been able to find so far. So. Because it would be the simplest thing for what I want to try and do. Because if you've got Bluetooth monitor, keyboard and mouse, you don't need a USB for that. You just need to be able to output it to a TV if you're in a...
Absolutely.
The main thing I bought this for is I'm travel. I haven't travelled for a while. Travelling very soon. This thing comes along. I'm hoping to have that by then. I'll be able to plug it into a monitor, like a TV at the hotel room or something.
The weird thing would be, because it's a US power output,
well, everything by the specs imply that it's not, that it should be able to handle that. So that's so that's why I'm sort of surprised they haven't got it in Australia, but they haven't got it in Australia so far. So so basically that's this Armory Crate is what sits over the top of everything, where you can access your games and stuff. You've got different. You can bring up a touchscreen keyboard by just pressing that. Just do your typing for Linux.
Yeah, like an eye. Yep.
Like an iPad essentially. You've got a real-time monitor, which is going to be pretty hard to see. I'm just displaying in the top corner there, which has like
Just like stats.
CPU, GPU. Bit hard to tell. There's actually a frame rate monitor there as well. And that's the basics of the crate software. This minimises it.
Do you want
down.
to just slightly refocus the camera a little bit?
Certainly can. There we go.
There we go.
I've installed quite a few games on here just to see. I mean, let's do. Hopefully, this will be picked up.
I like how it's got the button that you can just hit to go straight back to that docking.
That thing minimises and maximises their software. Is really pretty neat.
Big picture through Steam, or
pretty much, yeah. You can run it directly from the icon for the desktop or through Big Picture. Yep. This is Humanity, so it's actually fired up into Steam, and then it's going to fire up the game from Steam now.
Yep. I imagine Humanity and Dredge would be really good on that thing.
Yeah, you can kind of see it's really, really. They've actually also got the Steam frame rate counter on as well, which you can just see in the top left-hand corner.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard to see because how small it is. In fact, I don't think I'm going to get it close enough. You can see it's just in the top left-hand corner, like just there.
Do you know if it's an OLED screen on that thing?
It is. Actually, couldn't answer that question. It's a full HD, so it's 1920 by 1080, so it's 16 by 9.
That's more than what the Steam Deck
Steam
output's
Deck,
at.
yeah, it's pretty damn good in terms of the rest of it. It's AMD FreeSync comes with it. Response time 7 milliseconds, 120 hertz refresh.
It's just LCD.
Yeah, it's just a full HD, I think. Yeah.
It's just an LCD HD. It doesn't seem to have. No, it's not an OLED.
No. You can probably hear the sound of the moment.
Did for a little bit.
As soon as I managed to get out. Oh, there we go. This is Humanity. We played it we did a demo of this earlier a couple of months back. This is running 120 frames a second at the moment on this thing.
Shit, that's alright.
So it's actually pretty damn good. You'll drop down to the. What I'll do is I'll turn on the other one. So there's their overlay.
Yeah.
Just in the top right hand corner. It's a bit hard to see.
Yeah.
What I might try and do is you will do that. You'll see it a bit more contrast.
And most people will know that, particularly with PC hardware right now, to run 60 to 120 frames at 1080, it's not a massive performance ask. It's not a massive parts ask anymore.
No, it shouldn't be. But like this thing's a handheld, so the fact that it can do it, I think, is bloody impressive. So I'm getting 81 frames a second on this at the moment, which is absolutely fine, of course. I'm not going to play this, but I just wanted to jump into that.
Might need to just refocus the camera a bit from the change.
Keep reminding me of that because I'm.
It's fun. How do the buttons and the triggers and the bumpers feel and all that?
In fact, let's do a close up. Let's see if this works. Let's do this. I'm going to change cameras. Going to go black for a second.
Whoop.
And then, that's not what I wanted. And
all right. Yep. Internal. XG mobile, I think it is. Yep. Yeah, I've just looked it up. Like, you can get them in a fucking 4090. Yeah. Mm. I was gonna say, I wonder how like the if there'd be CPU bottleneck if you were to slap this XG mobile on it, given it's a bloody 4090. Mm. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. Mm. Ha! So there's a couple of videos on YouTube of people using that XG mobile, the 4090, with an Ally. Very much compatible, yeah. Share. Yep. Mm. Are you gonna drop a micro SD card in there? Mm. Yeah. Yep. Mm. Shadow Gambit, isn't it? It's not too bad. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. It's got the back buttons. Are they two individual buttons or just the one? Yeah. So there's not a top and a bottom half to those buttons. It's just literally the one button. Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. Possibly a microphone. It could also possibly be a front-facing camera, but I doubt that's too small a pinhole for it, to be honest. Mm. Hmm. The video hasn't stopped, just so people are aware. Oh Jesus, that's literally right on the edge, isn't it? That camera stand. Is it because you got the details open in the corner? Oh, yeah, I haven't updated mine. It hasn't presented the ability to update just through Windows Update, so hmm. And that's a fucking big game too. Mm, mm. No. Okay. Yep. Yeah. It will, yeah. So is it? It's not necessarily an SSD then, or yeah. Yep. 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 Mm, yep. But it's also not going to be the same limitations as a Switch. Yeah. Mm. No. I would actually wonder whether or not the what the performance of Dredge on a Switch would be like, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, anytime that thing upgrades or anytime it's a new graphics driver, it'll have to optimize the PC. It's a pain in the ass. Mm, yeah. Mm. Well, fuck yeah, it will. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Mm. Oh yeah. No, I wouldn't. Like, it's a 4090 in it, so I'd imagine you're looking at least 2.5, 3 grand. Mm. Mm. Yeah. From the cloud. There you go. 120 frames a second of Forza Horizon 5 confirmed. Oh, that's that new weekly thing. Yeah. Nah, it's some high low thing for like donut media or whatever. Yep. What's the frame rate in this sort of cinematic? Okay. I would wager you're about to start driving in a moment. Yep. Fuck. Mm. Yep. Crank it up to ultra and see what happens. Might not be in that monitor. It might be another. Yep. Yep. Oh, it's still a really nice looking game. You still get some of the brick walls sort of disintegrating a little bit, and you just slide across that car like a dick. It would, yeah, with the physics. So it does fluctuate a little bit. No, you said that, but it did drop to 30 when you went through those walls, didn't it? Oh, I mean, I'm not noticing any slowdown when you're driving through the stuff. Yeah. Cool. I would imagine it wouldn't just plummet and cut in half from 60 to 30 because it might have some impact on the processing, post processing effects and shit like that. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely fine. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. 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 Mm. Yeah. There you go. Half an hour. Thanks, Graham.